Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. I hope everybody's day is either living up to the expectations or you have successfully lowered your expectations to keep your happiness. And happy birthday to all the Valentine's Day babies out there. I am doing this meeting because our agenda came out for the Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 meeting, city council meeting. So if you want to come, please come. It's at Carnegie Hall. Be great to have your input on some of this stuff. I know that you guys have been following the journey along, and I've been very thankful for the private messages I've been getting and participation in understanding a little bit more about how our local government works. So we have our normal city council agenda items on here, which is the public comments for anything not on the agenda, as well as the consent calendar, where they go over the warrant list, which there's items on here. Guys, take a look at what we paid out for last month because some of it is kind of there was a large refund to somebody. It doesn't quite say why, but at any rate, look through the warrant list. So, what's interesting is we have a surprise presentation from Nick Paxton. Now, we went over this in our last meeting, and we talked about the building department, and we talked about, maybe some of the issues that we're having because Paxton gets paid a lot. So, Paxton's name came up when we were first looking at the warrant list, and we started asking questions about who Paxton is. So, Paxton is our building inspector. Okay. And if you recall, if you watched the last videos on the building department, I'll put that video in the links. We went over the Paxton family and how we found these people, how we came about. Now, what happened was Wyatt Paxton was our was rendering our services for managing the building department as a contractor, and in 2024 he became hired on to Shasta County. And he was doing double work for us for Shasta County and for Orland. And then in early 2025, he passed over the baton to his son, Nick Paxton, and we started paying Nick Paxton. Well, when I'm looking at the itemized expenditures for 2025 provided from the city, there is a payment here to Wyatt Paxton in June. So we paid Wyatt Paxton in June here $5,300. Now, I wanted to understand why we paid him in June when he passed the baton on, and thereafter we have been paying his son Nicholas Paxton. So, what do we do when we want to find out, why we paid somebody? We go into the agendas, right? So this agenda is from June 26th. We can see right here, June 26th. We have everything that we paid in early June, and this payment for Paxton is not on here. Wyatt Paxton. It shows Wyatt Paxton is account code PAX00. When we come over here, let's see, what do we have? Here's our P's. No PAX00. We go right down to PG&E. So it skips over Wyatt Paxton's payment. Now let's go over here. And this one is 5/29. Of course, this is going to be too early, right? Because we paid him on 6/4. So it's not going to be in that agenda packet. So then I looked at the other one, 6/12. Okay, so it should be in 6/12, right? Because we cut checks in between 5/29 and 6/12. We cut a check to Wyatt Paxton for $5,300. It's not here. Here's one for Nicholas for 9,400. But the city never disclosed to us why they paid Wyatt Paxton $5,300 June 4th. So we need to ask about that, guys. Again, do we just have some incompetency going on here with our books? Is there something more going on? Is somebody cooking the books? We don't know. All we know is that $5,300 was paid to Wyatt Paxton on 6/4, and we can't find that into the agenda. We can see his son, and it tells us, professional services for May, but we don't know why we paid him that. So we want to ask that. We definitely want to ask that. All right. So what are we gonna get from Nick Paxton? Well, we should be getting a presentation on our high level stats here. We should be getting our number of permits. We should be getting our department fees collected. We should be getting our project valuations. So, Paxton here for 2025. Let's adjust these numbers here since we have this breakdown. We paid the Paxton family, we paid them, let's scroll out here. Let's add this up. Sum 121,878. 121,878. All right, so we paid him $121,000 here according to the breakdown that I was able to get. I did a public records request for the uh everything we paid out in 2025. So these are the numbers here that are coming out saying that these are the check numbers. This is officially what we paid them. So again, I added everything up through the warrant list. So not sure why the numbers are different, but again, we're already finding discrepancies from that warrant list, right? Like this is missing. Okay, so maybe we need to go through each line item and each warrant list and see because I had added up 150 something dollars. Now it's been slimmed down. Books aren't matching up with the warrant list. That's a problem. So, what also is going on is we want to do a year over year analysis. We want to be able to see what is going on with, with our numbers here. So we know that in 2023 and 2024, we collected these fees here. We collected 400K in fees and paid Paxton 87,000, which was roughly around 21%. We collected less in 2024. We did pay him less, but when you do the breakdown, we actually increased our payouts from what we collected. We increased it to 28%. Interesting. So we'll see what happens here when these 2025 numbers that they get presented. Now, I did request receipts, guys. I have been discussing the building department with our public records request process through the city of Orland, and I requested receipts for 2025 because right here we want a total fees collected report. I would like to see payment details because they could roll up in here and they could give us a presentation and they could give us a slide and they could say, oh yeah, we collected, $500,000. But then when we look at the payment details, are they going to match up? They should, right? They should. So I'm interested to see what goes on here because that's great that they're giving the presentation, but let's get the receipts. Now, what I wanted to do is I have these two random years here, 2017 and 2018 for our building department because this is the years that we had an in-house inspector before we moved to contracted help. Okay, our in-house inspector quit. They were getting overworked. They were working 50, 60 hours a week. They requested additional support. They requested additional money. City denied. They quit. So we then went to a contracted support for whatever reason. Maybe we couldn't find somebody that was knowledgeable enough to do this. I'm not sure. But at any rate, we went with the Paxton family here. So what we want to do is we want to do an analysis, a comparative analysis here to see what our metrics were with an in-house inspector, cross-reference to what our metrics were for contracted, and see are we getting our money's worth here. So a really easy analysis that you can do here. And again, our in-house inspectors were working 50 to 60 hours a week. But now what we have here is when you go to our website and we go to our building department page for the city of Orland, what do we see here? We see here that inspection services are available Monday through Wednesday. Okay. So it's we're not getting that availability to our building developers here full time. I mean, we could do an inspection by appointment. Will you get the appointment? I don't know. Again, a lot of these contracted inspectors they're hopping around from county to county, so they're not available for us full time. I can say that after making the last video about the discovering and asking questions about who the Paxton family is and why we're paying them so much money, I was personally reached out to by building developers saying that they were building in Orland and they pulled their project because the building department was so unavailable. And they are currently building in Chico and Paradise, and hopefully we can figure this out, City of Orland, so we can get the developers back into Orland. If we have, building developers, we need to be reaching out to the building developers that stopped the process to figure out what was going on. And one of them's telling me I stopped the process of building homes here in Orland because the projects were so slow because the building department just could not perform at the speed we needed them to perform. So, again, I wanted to do that analysis from in-house versus contracted. Of course, we do whatever we're paying in salary, we're gonna see that increase from CalPERS, health, vision, dental, all those other benefits that come. So if we're paying them 80,000 a year, of course, we're gonna see that increase in actual payout from the city when you calculate in your CalPERS and your medical and your dental and all those other benefits that come about. But unfortunately, when I requested this, they came back to me and it was missing information. So here's the 2017. Okay, so we got our 2017 right here. We have our valuation for the 2017 commercial and residential. What the valuation is this just fancy terms to say how much the project is costing the person that wants the permit. So your roof mount PV system right here, your solar is costing 12,000, right? So that's what the project costs, and then we have our fee. So that's great. So let's see how much our fee is. See right here, our total count for permits in 2017 was $10 million. Let's plug that in. Can we highlight for the ease of sake 10,001,4901? 10,009,401. That's not it. Let's see. 10,001,4901. 10,009,4901. Okay, so we have numbers. I hate it when I can't copy and paste. That's not right. 10,001,4901. 10,001,4901. Okay, there we go. All right, so our project valuation right here, that's great, but we're missing, this is the end of this PDF. We are missing our total fees collected. We're missing our total fees collected. So I asked for our total fees collected. In 2018, we don't even get total fees collected for the whole year. We only get part of the year. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going on here, guys? Because I can't get the total numbers for 2017 and 2018. And it says, this is what they replied back. Regarding total fees collected in 2017 and the date range you asked for in 2018, we do not, oh, come on. We do not have, goodness sakes, I'm not going to highlight, guys. My system does not like it. We do not have the data available. As previously mentioned, the software used during that time is no longer supported, and the documents we have provided contain only records from what she gave us. So what they're saying is, sorry, we can't give you that data. Now, all right, there's got to be another way around it, right? Well, let's do the route that we're doing in 2025, which is for 2027 and 2028, please supply deposit payment details for the building department. This should be accessible through the accounting software. You're not getting out of this, guys. You're not getting out of this. Go to your accounting software and get me those numbers because that's what we're going to be doing for 2025. We're going to be going through the accounting software and we're going to be getting those receipts for the total amount paid. So we're still work in progress here for what's going on in 2017 and 2018. We cannot do this analysis, this comparative analysis quite yet. Excuse me, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We could pull up the salary for the in-house inspector. We're going seven years back, 8 years back, but or excuse me, 9 years back. And we'll see what we can get there. Where they're going to have to go through the accounting software. So at any rate, we will see at our next city council meeting what we're doing here. What was our stats, and we'll be able to plug that in. We got to get those receipts though, guys. Uh, Paxton's watching the videos. Paxton watched the video that I made of who the Paxton family is, just so you know. So after I made that video, they came up to the city council and said, hey, we're going to give our presentation. Paxton was not going to give a presentation prior to the video coming out saying, what are they all doing? Why did they make so much money? So, maybe there's some conversation going on right now to the city council saying, why are you telling everybody we're not building? So we'll see. We'll see. Attend the city council meeting, guys, next Tuesday. Let's figure out what the building department is doing. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.